I want to tell you how to make not just lemonade out of lemons, but how to turn shit to gold. And really that comes from one simple tweak that you can make in your mind that will change not just your circumstances, but your solutions to all the problems that you have in life. I know people say that all the time. There's one simple tweak, but I really mean it, okay? Yo, Madison, and I'm here today coming to you from my rooftop villa in Playa del Carmen. Today we're gonna talk about something that's a little different than usual. We're not gonna do a regular theory video. It's gonna be a video that I want you to watch over and over again to motivate yourself whenever you need it, okay? It's gonna be different than all the other videos. This is gonna be one to motivate you, where I sit down with you and have a fatherly talk about what's going on in your life right now. So, how are you doing? How the doing? What's the last year been like for you? What's the last 2 years been like for you? Are you somebody that's maybe lost your job in the last year? And for you, you identified yourself with your career. You know, you were this big boss corporate person, and now you don't have that job anymore because of government restrictions or whatever. How have you been dealing with that? What about your body? Have you been inside the house for a long time and haven't really been working out and exercising the way you used to, the way you wanted to ideally? Are you socially isolated right now? Are you somebody that's having a lot of problems? Life has maybe thrown you a curveball. You know, right now, I heard Tony Robbins the other day say, we're living in unprecedented times. These are unexpected and unfortunate, unprecedented times. A lot of uns, and I'm tired of hearing that. I was like, yo, let me talk to my people and let me give them a mindset shift that's gonna change everything. So that's what we're gonna do here today. I wanna tell you how to make not just lemonade out of lemons, but how to turn shit to gold. And really that comes from one simple tweak that you can make in your mind that will change not just your circumstances, but your solutions to all the problems that you have in life. I know people say that all the time. There's one simple tweak, but I really mean it, okay? And it's gonna be fast, it's gonna be simple. And it really comes from a mindset shift on how you view things in your life. Now, when things happen to us, typically we perceive it as a problem. And that's why I asked you, how are you doing? What are the problems you're having in your life? And I'll tell you a personal story. Myself, you know, I've been doing coaching since 2015 or so, and I've been learning social dynamics for over 12 years now. But back in 2019, let's say there was an unfortunate circumstance, a health crisis in the world, which forced me to change everything I was doing. Because I have a seminar company, bro. Like, what do you think I'm doing? I'm not socially having seminars anymore in hotels because you can't do that in some areas. So what do you think happened after I stopped doing seminars? What do you think? Okay, 2019 to 2020 was the worst year in business I've ever had in terms of coaching. The worst year. Why was that? Because I couldn't do what I was doing. Think about that for a second. So, to put that into context, 2021, the year that just passed, was the absolute best year I've ever had. I've made the most revenue, the most profit, helped the most people in coaching. And is it because the restrictions on seminars have changed all around the globe? Is that really what did it? No, it's not that. It's not I had some Hail Mary fall from heaven and save my soul, and that's exactly what changed for me, and I was just lucky and fortunate, I manifested it. It's not what happened. For me, I started to see these situations differently. I looked at life in general, and I said, okay, how is it that some people, when faced with adversity, can then flip their life around and capitalize on situations, right? Like for example, the stock market. How is it then when some things go down in the stock market, people place what's called a put, means they're betting on the stock market going down and they make money. Because there's people that make money in the stock market either way it goes. If it goes up or down, they still make money. So I said, wait, where does that relate to the rest of life? And I said, is it possible that I'm looking at my problems the wrong way? Let me ask you in your life, because there's somebody out there right now that needs to hear this. Are you possibly looking at your problems as problems? And that is the problem. Because maybe not all problems are problems. You know, they say when one door, what? When one door closes, another, what? Another door opens. So, what does that mentality do? Does it fix your current state of things? No. You're not always meant to fix your current state of things. Some things are outside of your control. So in psychology, we call this the Lotus of Control. That means there's a circle of things you can control and a circle of things that are outside of your control. Like, I'm not concerned about what's happening in the world of the government. What I am concerned about is, where do I plan to be at this moment? Where am I taking residence? Where am I spending my money? Where am I voting with my feet? You always have a choice, man. You always got a choice. That's the straight up and down. You always got a choice. No matter what the circumstance is, you can choose what to do in that situation. Great example of this is Viktor Frankl, Mankind's Search for Meaning. When he was imprisoned in, I think it was a Nazi concentration camp, he was able to find meaning in his day-to-day. Now, he couldn't change the concentration camp that he was in, but he can change his experience of it, right? You see what I'm saying? You catch what I'm saying here? I'm trying to put you on an idea that you can change the way you view life, and therefore it changes your experience, and therefore it changes your outcome and the situations that come out of that. So, I asked myself, as I sometimes talk to myself in third person, I said, is it possible that you have to stop looking at these as problems, look at these as opportunities? Can you find the opportunity in every problem? Can you do that? I said, I don't know, man, stuff's pretty shitty right now. But I gave myself a challenge to do that. And one of the first things I did is, I would say 70% of my coaching was face-to-face, maybe 30% was online. And then I switched that so that 70% was online and 30% was face-to-face. And of course, when I put it online, I had to deliver more value, I had to give more time, more intimacy, and I wanted to do that because that gave everybody better results. And a lot of people were more happy. I was actually able to service more people because it's all around the globe. They didn't have to work with me face-to-face all the time. So in your life, right now, if you can't go to the gym, because gyms aren't available, well, maybe it's time to finally invest in that home gym and set it up and learn about body anatomy a little bit more and learn how to fix that injury you constantly have in your shoulders, or learn how to train better. Maybe you don't eat out of restaurants anymore, so you learn how to cook better food. Finally, man, you get to be a better chef. You watch some Gordon Ramsay masterclass, you make better food for yourself, right? Business-wise, maybe you might be somebody whose identity was wrapped up in their career. Maybe it's time to have your identity wrapped up in your family a little bit more, or just what your vision is for yourself as a human being, and not your senior manager or manager status in your career, or even your education. Yo, check this out, man. It's been crazy, right? Because the last year or so, no matter what school you went to, you were working from home online, right? You're logging in Zoom and you were doing your class all day, and you're probably like, yo, why did I spend 20, 30 grand for this education if I'm doing it from Zoom? I could have just did a course online. It would have been the same effect. And now people don't even look at your paper anymore, depending on what you're in. If you're in medicine, yeah, look at your paper. But depending on what you're in, they don't look at your paper anymore. So what's the opportunity in that, man? What's the opportunity to learn? Did you sit down and did you learn another language? Did you learn Spanish? Did you learn how to do copywriting? Did you learn how to make a website? Did you do that stuff? I would compare this to the movie Iron Man, where the first one exactly, right? Where Robert Downey Jr., he had this moment where he was locked in a cave, and he had, they said, I want you to make this bomb for us or you'll be killed. Now, he can't get out the cave, and he can't change the fact that he has to do work. But what he was able to do was change the type of work he was doing, and to take that imprisonment of a cave and turn it into a laboratory. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? And he came out and he created the Iron Man suit, the first version. It was a little rusty, it was a little choppy, you know what I'm saying? But it got him out of the situation, and then went on to become the Iron Man that we know today, and then went on to lead the Avengers. Now, I know this is a character that's not real, but just look at the opportunities in your life. Maybe your country or your city isn't the way you want it. It's time to finally move. You've been thinking about it for a long time. Just fucking do it, man. Come out to Mexico. Go out to Austin. Go out to Austin like Elon Musk and like Joe Rogan. Do that. Because now's the time. What's a better time than now to change your life? What's a better time than now to do what you're afraid of? What speaks to you in your soul that you've been putting off for so long? There is no better time. It's right now. Now is the time to do it. To jump into your fears. Because there is no better time. Because think about it. You have not a lot to lose anymore because you've lost so much already. What do you have to lose? What do you got to lose, bro? Right? Stuff gets worse. Well, it's already close to being as bad as it's gonna get. Right? You're probably 80% of the way there as bad as it's gonna get. How bad is the other 20%? Not that bad. All right, so do it. Do it. Man up, king up, woman up, and just do it. Just do it, man. So, Right now is the biggest opportunity of our generation. Not just that, but the biggest opportunity of your lifetime. If you do nothing right now, you will regret it. If you don't take action on that thing that you're afraid of, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life. You're gonna look back to 2022 and say, oh man, this is the perfect timing, but I just didn't grab my balls and do it. I had little baby balls. Brown little baby balls, I didn't do it. But if you did it, you'd be like, man, I took advantage of the greatest opportunity in my generation, because there's people out there that are taking chances right now. And the risk is so small because the risk is already gone. Does that make sense? You catch what I'm saying here? Not only that's about reclaiming your power for yourself, reclaiming your voice for yourself, reclaiming your individuality for yourself. I want to help you to do that. By the way, speaking of coaching, if you're somebody that has in the last year decided to be an online fitness trainer, to be a nutritionist, a yoga coach, a self-development coach, or even a dating coach, or you want to be a leader in some way, you want to lead people, you want to influence people, and maybe you're in sales, whatever it may be, I'm actually working on something for you guys. It's going to be coming out March the 14th, I believe, and it's Influence Mastery for Coaches. This is where everybody can learn influence, but specifically people that are in the coaching field and want to help other people. You're passionate about changing the world. This might be an opportunity for you to enjoy. So it's coming out really soon. We'll put a little notification here on the bottom of the screen, all right? And if you want to go deeper down the rabbit hole with me about influence, then click up here. I'll put 2 playlists about influence and self-development and finding your goals and your passion and being motivated, and that'll take you deeper down the rabbit hole, and we'll continue to just, mind positive way, just the way that Daddy does it, the way you like it, all right? That's for now. As always, keep watching more, and don't be a stranger. Cheers.